Hi everyone. Today we have Dropbox Activity 2. This is about nationalism and patriotism. In order to begin this assignment, I have to give you a definition of nationalism and patriotism. I'm going to begin with patriotism because if I asked you all what that is, you might have a shared understanding or very similar answers. And at the core of this, you'll find with patriotism is a love or appreciation of country. So the love of country is really just in basic terms what we're going to use with understanding patriotism. Nationalism is a bit more tricky, and nationalism requires strict rules, if you will, that are applied to what it means to be part of the nation state. In nationalistic terms, it might mean that someone should speak English. In nationalistic terms, it might mean that you hold your hand over your heart for the national anthem. Benedict Anderson, a historian, famously conceptualized the nation as an imagined community. And that's how I want us to understand nationalism in the United States. An imagined community. Because members of even the smallest nation will never know most of their fellow members, meet them, or even hear of them, yet in their minds each lives this image of their communion, what it means to be part of the nation state. Now that will actually be different throughout the United States for certain groups of people. And so nationalism, who determines nationalism for our country? Well, largely it's the dominant group in society who will put those nationalistic terms into play. And how does this work in sport? Well, here in the lower right corner you have Tommy Smith and John Carlos. The 1968 Summer Olympic Games, their protest against racial injustice in the United States, as well as poverty and the working class man. They were largely criticized in 1968 for their actions, identified as unpatriotic and in nationalistic terms excluded from the nation. I believe it was 2010, they were awarded the ESPN Arthur Ashe Award for Courage. Why is it that today we can recognize someone decades later for actions that they were lambasted for and now lionize them as heroes? With nationalism and patriotism, there's a change over time in how we perceive an action. But let's also look at that perception with the 2016 Summer Olympic Games. In the upper right corner there, you see the USA women's gymnastics team on the gold medal stand for the gold medal team medal they won. And second from the left is Gabby Douglas. She does not have her hand over her heart, largely criticized for that action, or the lack of action. But actually, to the left of Gabby is Simone Biles, who looks like she would rather be watching a women's Olympic championship basketball game than on that podium. But in the lower left corner, you then see two men, Ryan Crouser in the center winning the gold medal in shot put, and his teammate Joe Kovacs winning the silver. Neither of them smiling, and neither of them had their hands over their heart during the entire ceremony of the U.S. national anthem. Neither of them received any criticism for this. So my question for you is, what is it about nationalism that led to the intense criticism of Gabby Douglas and her actions or inaction there, displayed in the upper right? And what is it about nationalism that allowed Ryan Crouser and Joe Kovacs to go largely without any criticism for the very same action or lack of action that Gabby Douglas demonstrated? I'd like you to respond to that on your D2L Dropbox assignment number 2. Thank you.